Max was no ordinary German Shepherd. From the moment he opened his eyes, he was curious and full of life. His shiny coat, strong legs, and eager tail wagged non-stop. But Max had something special. He wasn't just learning to sit or stay. He was learning how to live in a world filled with people, animals, and a lot of exciting new experiences. Max's journey started on the day he was brought home, the first step in a grand adventure. He was just 8 weeks old, with soft ears and paws too big for his growing body. His new owner, Sarah, was eager to start socializing him from the very first day. Sarah had done her homework. She knew that for Max to grow into a well-adjusted adult dog, socialization was key. But socializing a German Shepherd puppy wasn't going to be easy, and it wasn't just about meeting other dogs at the park. It was about teaching Max how to navigate the world confidently. The first day at home, when Sarah brought Max into his new home, she immediately set out to make him feel comfortable. The house was filled with new smells, sounds, and sights, and it was easy for Max to get overwhelmed. The first thing Sarah did was create a safe space for him, a quiet corner with his bed, a few toys, and water. She let him explore the area at his own pace. She knew that rushing him would only create anxiety, so she let him sniff around and get used to the layout of his new world. Max's first socialization lesson wasn't with other dogs. It was with Sarah herself. She spent time sitting quietly, talking to him softly, and using positive reinforcement whenever he interacted with her. This was the first building block of his socialization bonding. Every new puppy needs to trust their owner, and trust doesn't happen overnight. Over the next few days, Sarah started introducing Max to new experiences. She carefully set up short trips to different parts of the house. The bathroom was one place that seemed to cause Max a bit of hesitation. The slippery floors and unfamiliar sounds made him nervous. But Sarah remained calm, taking small steps and praising Max when he ventured out of his comfort zone. Soon after, Sarah introduced him to other areas of the house. Rooms with different textures underfoot, odd appliances that made sounds, and even the sound of the vacuum cleaner. Max was a bit fearful at first, but Sarah continued to reassure him with treats and a calm, loving voice. Each new thing was a mini-adventure, and Max began to look forward to the next one, learning that the world wasn't something to fear. At 10 weeks old, Max was ready for his first puppy class. Sarah had researched local trainers and selected one that used positive reinforcement methods. Max was excited, but Sarah was a bit nervous. Would he be able to handle the group of unfamiliar dogs? Would he get overwhelmed by all the new people? The first class was a blur of sounds, smells, and a rainbow of puppies. Max felt a bit shy at first, clinging to Sarah's side, but the trainer was patient. The other puppies were friendly, and the trainer encouraged Max to interact with them slowly, rewarding him with treats and praise whenever he made positive steps forward. One of the first things Sarah learned was how to use treats effectively. Every time Max looked at another dog, she rewarded him. Slowly but surely, Max started to associate other puppies with fun, which built his confidence. As the weeks went by, he learned that new experiences, whether it was meeting a new dog or walking past a vacuum cleaner, were opportunities for growth. They weren't threats, they were chances to learn and earn rewards. Socializing with other dogs at 12 weeks, Max was introduced to a well-mannered adult German Shepherd named Leo. Sarah knew Leo's owner and had been assured that Lee was gentle and well-behaved, perfect for Max to learn from. The first meeting was an awkward dance. Max, being a little hesitant, sniffed at Leo from a distance. Leo, calm and confident, simply sat and watched. Max soon realized that Leo wasn't a threat. Leo wasn't there to compete for attention or food. He was just a friend. The two dogs began to interact more, and Max learned something crucial during this time: the importance of body language. He learned how to greet another dog politely, how to read signals, and how to play safely. This was critical for a German Shepherd, a breed known for being both protective and energetic. Max needed to understand that not every dog was a threat, and not every dog wanted to play aggressively. Sarah always supervised their interactions and was ready to step in if needed, reinforcing calm behavior with praise and treats. The big world outside at 16 weeks. Max was ready for the world outside. Sarah had already been taking him on walks, but it was time for the real test. He would encounter new people, cars, bicycles, and other distractions. The first walk was a blur. Max was hesitant at first, but Sarah kept her pace steady and calm. She talked to him as they walked, pointing out new things and using treats when he looked at something without fear. One of the most important lessons Sarah taught Max was to remain calm in busy environments. Every time a car zoomed by or someone jogged past, Sarah rewarded Max for staying focused and calm. Over time, Max grew accustomed to the noise of traffic, the smell of different foods, and the sight of people walking by. He learned to take these experiences in stride, with confidence, and the role of positive reinforcement played a huge part in Max's success. He was always rewarded when he chose to approach something new, or when he calmly passed by something that might have previously caused him to bark or pull away. Public outings. By the time Max reached 6 months old, he was ready for public outings. Sarah took him to parks, markets, and even dog-friendly cafes. Max met a variety of people, children, adults, and elderly individuals, and each time he was rewarded for his calm, friendly behavior. Sarah always ensured that Max had plenty of opportunities to explore new environments in a controlled manner, never rushing him. But not everything was perfect. There were times when Max showed signs of fear or anxiety. One day, while walking through a crowded farmer's market, Max froze at the sound of a loud motorcycle. His ears went back, and he stood still, staring at the bike with wide eyes. Sarah knelt down beside him, talking to him in a calm voice. She didn't force him to move forward, but instead allowed him to take his time. When the motorcycle passed, she rewarded Max with a treat, reinforcing that the scary experience had passed and that he was safe. Max's experiences in public spaces were invaluable in helping him become a well-adjusted adult dog. And the door opened. He learned that most of the world was friendly, and when something unexpected did occur, he could rely on Sarah for reassurance. A well-adjusted German Shepherd. By the time Max reached adulthood, he was a confident, social, and well-behaved German Shepherd. He had learned how to interact with other dogs, navigate busy environments, and meet new people. His temperament was calm, and he was always eager to explore new places with Sarah. Socializing him had taken patience, consistency, and a lot of love, but it had paid off. Max's story was not just about his growth. It was about the bond he shared with Sarah. It was about the quiet moments when they sat together on the porch, watching the world by, and the exciting times when they ventured into new places together. Socializing Max wasn't just about teaching him to interact with the world. It was about creating a lifelong partnership built on trust and mutual respect. And then as they walked together down the street one bright morning, Max's tail wagging in rhythm with Sarah's steps, it was clear the world was his playground. And he was ready for whatever came next. Max had come a long way. From the timid little puppy who first stepped into his new home to the confident, well-adjusted German Shepherd walking calmly at Sarah's side, his transformation was nothing short of remarkable. But as Sarah watched him trotting happily ahead, and then the door opened, her mind couldn't help but reflect on the journey they had taken together. It wasn't always easy. There were times when Max got overwhelmed, when his instincts told him to bark at a strange noise or pull away from a new experience. But Sarah never gave up on him, just as she knew Max would never give up on her. There were moments of doubt, when she questioned whether she was doing the right thing, or if perhaps Max would never grow into the dog she envisioned. Yet, with each new socialization milestone, her confidence grew. And with every successful interaction, whether it was meeting a new person, playing with another dog, or walking past a scary motorcycle, Max's world expanded just a little more. Now, as he confidently greeted strangers and approached other dogs without hesitation, Sarah realized something crucial. Socializing a dog wasn't just about teaching them how to behave. It was about teaching them how to experience the world. It was about showing that the world wasn't a scary place full of dangers, but a fascinating place full of opportunities. Every new interaction, every new experience, was a chance for Max to grow, to learn, and to build his trust in the world around him. As the seasons changed, Sarah and Max spent more time together outdoors. They explored new parks, hiked through quiet forests, and even spent weekends at the beach. Each place was a new lesson, each moment an opportunity for both of them to grow. And through it all, Max's confidence only continued to blossom. The same puppy who once cowered at the sound of a vacuum now eagerly ran toward a passing train, wagging his tail with excitement at the new, loud sounds. Their bond, too, had deepened over time. Max had learned to trust Sarah not just as his owner, but as his guide, his protector, and his best friend. And Sarah, in turn, had learned that the key to socializing a puppy wasn't just about exposing them to new people or situations. It was about patience, empathy, and consistency. She had come to understand that each challenge, each fear Max faced, was just another opportunity for them to strengthen their relationship. One afternoon, as they sat together on a park bench, Sarah reflected on just how far they had come. Max, with his tail wagging lazily beside her, was the embodiment of everything they had worked toward. He was calm and confident, friendly yet protective, curious yet respectful. Sarah smiled, feeling an overwhelming sense of pride. The quiet bond between them was something that words could never fully capture, something that had grown stronger through every shared experience and every lesson learned. Max had shown her the true power of socialization. It wasn't about molding a dog into something they weren't. It was about helping them become the best version of themselves, one experience at a time. Every interaction, whether with people or other animals, had been a lesson in communication, in understanding, and in respect. Max had taught her that socializing wasn't a one-time effort. It was an ongoing process that required continuous learning, adaptation, and growth. As the sun began to set, casting a golden light over the park, Sarah gently patted Max on the head. "You've come so far, buddy," she whispered softly, her heart swelling with gratitude for the journey they had shared. Max looked up at her, his eyes bright and trusting, as if he knew exactly what she meant. In that moment, Sarah knew that they had built something special, something that would last a lifetime. The world was vast, and there were still many adventures ahead. But for now, as they sat together in the quiet park, Sarah and Max knew one thing for sure: they had faced the world together, and together they had conquered it. And as they stood up, ready to embark on yet another walk into the unknown, Sarah could see in Max's eyes the same curiosity, the same eagerness to face whatever came next, with her by his side, and that was all they needed.